This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 18th day of February in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. There are reports this evening that more than 60 workers of the Russian-managed bauxite company of Guyana have been fired over their strike action last Friday. Several workers walked off of the company's bauxite mining operations in the Berbice River area last Friday to protest the imposition of a 1% increase on their salaries. On the day of the strike, the workers were threatened that if they were to continue the strike action, they would all be fired. It appeared today that the company kept that promise and told several of the workers that their services were no longer needed and that they needed to leave the company's location. The chief labor officer has made efforts to meet with the company. The company has not turned up for any of those meetings. Meanwhile, the Guyana Bauxite and General Workers Union believes the government needs to get involved. In a statement over the weekend, the Workers Union complained that the company has been flouting local labor laws and best practices also. The union said the current and previous governments have both failed over the years to challenge the way the company has been addressing issues of concern to its workers. The union now wants the president himself to become involved in the issue. More news coming up in just a moment.
Here now, I want to switch over to GTT right now, no. Because all this time and money I waste on a cars alone can just send up my blood pressure.
You've come to the right place.
Really?
Once you're switched over with our network, you can activate our Fab 5 plan. With our Fab 5 plan, you can enjoy free unlimited calls with 4 family and friends.
You got to be kidding me.
You will also get 5 gigabytes of data with 250 text messages.
You got to be kidding me.
And your chosen 4 can also call you for free.
You got to be kidding me.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only $5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87, 89, and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance and high mileage, visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
This match day, February 23rd, Hits and Jams Entertainment brings you an event like no other. Sunrise Brunch Party. The first of its kind in Guyana. The day starts off with a delicious brunch served from 10 a.m. followed by the day party with the best lineup of DJs. Shizzle, Diamond, Sia, Ryan, and Energy at the Everest Cricket Ground. Sunrise Brunch Edition brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment. Stay tuned for more details.
Welcome back. Chartered accountant and attorney-at-law Christopher Ram has written to the police commissioner to file a complaint against 6 members of parliament, who he claims are holders of dual citizenship and might have lied on their declaration forms when they ran for elections. The Constitution of Guyana prohibits anyone who might have sworn allegiance to a foreign power from serving in the National Assembly or even running to become a member of the Assembly. Ram, in his letter to the police commissioner, named 3 members from the government side and 3 from the opposition. He's basing his complaint on the Chief Justice's ruling in the no confidence matter. He said the members of parliament who are dual citizens and members of the House might be guilty of a misdemeanor offense by making a false declaration under the Representation of the People's Act. Mr. Ram in his statement said the police commissioner needs to commence an immediate investigation into the false declarations. He said the police force should be probing the issue the same way it has been probing another matter related to the former member of parliament, Charandas Pasada. Let's tell you now that in a peaceful protest outside the Ministry of Public Security today, members of the Guyana Deaf Association issued a call on the government to examine and implement provisions that will allow persons who are deaf to drive on the country's roadways. A spokesman for the group explained that there were discussions with the government previously, but nothing has been done since those discussions to advance their requests.
I think that was the first time they were ever confronted with the issue, and the traffic chief was there also. and no, the traffic chief wasn't there. Minister was there and 4-Deaf, and the 4-Deaf did an excellent job. Because when Minister arrived, I thought he was very, like nearly everybody else, deaf. Can they drive? How come? This is a disaster going to happen, waiting to happen. But after he listened to the 4-Deaf carefully, I think he changed his mind fundamentally, and since then he's been very open.
The Deaf Association members said they are prevented from being granted driver's license and they do not think that is fair. They claim that Guyana is one of few countries that prevents persons who are deaf from operating motor vehicles. The association representative said by not having those provisions in place, persons might be forced to get involved in illegalities in their efforts to obtain a driver's license. The Deaf Association members said they are hoping for another meeting with the Public Security Minister. In the court, a Route 45 minibus driver and his conductor, who were both caught on camera assaulting a police officer during a traffic arrest, were charged and granted bail today. The two accused, 29-year-old Carlos Bacchus and 34-year-old Troy Peters, stood before Magistrate Shirley Isaacs Marcus and denied the allegations made against them. It is alleged that on the 13th of February at Hing Street, Georgetown, the two men assaulted Police Constable Joel Samuels while he was acting in the execution of his duties. It was further noted that on the same day at the same location, they both resisted arrest and behaved in a disorderly manner. In a statement to the court, the police prosecutors said a strong message must be sent to minibus operators about the manner in which they respond to instructions from police ranks. The two allegedly assaulted a police officer after they stopped their bus to pick up passengers and were reprimanded for doing so in a careless manner that affected the flow of traffic. The two men were released on $60,000 bail each, and the case will continue later this month. It was a weekend of crowning monarchs. As the Mashramani celebrations continued over the weekend, 3 monarchs were crowned. On Friday night, the mighty believer out of Berbice reminded the national park that Guyana must be a paradise, and he was able to capture the Calypso monarch crown.
We got a green economy going on in this country. The treaty initiative, it's a healthy way to live. Reduce, reuse, and recycling. That's how we doing it. And spread the message all over. It's a clean, green Guyana.
Young Bill Rogers, with his no third term, placed second.
Corruption and kindness for this country. Look how you are treating Shelly.
And in the wee hours of Sunday morning, Linden's Brandon Harding sang his way to become back-to-back Carib Soca Monarch. But Brandon barely edged past the second-place finisher Stephen Ramphel, beating him by just 1 point. By gaining the second spot, Ramphel also won Best Newcomer in the Soca Monarch. Vintage placed third, and former Monarch Jomo Primo was left behind in the third spot. Brandon Harding said although he won by just 1 point, a win is still a win.
I come to better love. I get my cheese at home. Everybody put your hand in the air. Tonight I'm making up. I tell you this on. I take care of drinking. I tell you this on. It's a proud to be Guyanese wilderness. 1, 2. I ride it.
Last evening in Anna Regina, Stephen Ramphel sang his way to the Chutney Monarch crown, winning that crown easily and much to the approval of at least some of the audience. The events were a big success according to the Culture Department, which served as the main organizer for all 3 singing competitions. Mashramani events will continue all this week as Guyana gears up for that big Mashramani float parade on Saturday. Across the region is up next.
Walk it up, no! Hey, hey! Chuck it up, hey, hey! Mash it up, hey, hey! I come in here as a loner, I know you spot me from far. We had a good drink together. That's how we party here.
Nobody on the post there. Looking too costly. Yes, it is. But I'm not saying He just get a header. Oh, no, that's some save, isn't it?
Let's Bet Sports. Take your game to a whole new level. You decide. Your game, your bet type, your bet amount. Guyana Lottery Companies, Let's Bet Sports. Be part of the game.
Across the region right now, U.S. President Donald Trump is trying to apply further pressure to Venezuela's military. Mr. Trump is now expected to say that the U.S. knows where military officials and their families have money hidden throughout the world. Mr. Trump's speech represents a further attempt to persuade them to switch allegiance to opposition leader Juan Guaido. The U.S. has already implemented other economic sanctions after President Nicolas Maduro refused to step down. The U.S. and a number of other Western democracies have recognized Mr. Guaido as the country's interim president. The head of the country's opposition-led National Assembly declared himself as such during an anti-government protest last month. In Haiti, opposition protesters have returned to the streets of the Haitian capital of Port-au-Prince as the government vows to deepen the investigation into allegations of corruption and implement economic measures. Demonstrators burned tires and set up barricades in some streets on Sunday. At least 7 people have been killed in the country since the protests began earlier this month. Protesters are angry at soaring inflation and demand an independent investigation over claims that officials and former ministers misappropriated development funds from an oil deal signed between the Caribbean countries and Venezuela, the Petrocaribe. The alleged theft amounts to $2 billion according to a court report. The demonstrators have demanded the resignation of the Haitian president, who has been in power since 2017 and who has also been accused of involvement in irregularities. But last week he rejected calls for his resignation, saying he would not leave the country in the hands of armed gangs and drug traffickers. Finally tonight, international news. 9 people, including 4 Indian soldiers and a policeman, have been killed in Indian-administered Kashmir during a gun battle. The clash occurred in Pulwama, where more than 40 Indian paramilitary police were killed in a bombing last week. That attack, the worst in decades, has fueled tensions between nuclear-armed India and Pakistan. A civilian and 3 alleged militants were also among those killed in today's confrontation. Police say the 3 suspected militants who were killed are members of the Pakistan-based group Jaish-e-Mohammed, which said it was responsible for last Thursday's suicide bombing. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.